CNBC has a financial wellness and education initiative called Invest in You. Ready, set, grow. In partnership with Acorns. It's the saving and investing app. And joining us now is Akbar Gbajabiamila. He is a former NFL star, current co-host of the TV hit show American Ninja Warrior, the author of Everyone Can Be a Ninja. Find your inner warrior and achieve your dreams. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is cool. I mean, I've always watched this on TV.
Oh, you're lying. Come on, Akbar.
You watch it every day.
I didn't say I watch it every day. I said I watch it.
I work with a guy named Matt Money Smith, and he always has it on in the locker room at work.
We made him smarter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I love your backstory. When did financial literacy become important to you?
You know, financial literacy became important to me really when I made it to the NFL, and that was the first time that I really was making solid money. I still remember my first, year, $225,000 in 2003. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a lot of money. What am I going to do? And I was just telling the story. I remember where, my quarterback at the time, Rich Gannon, telling me, he says, Akbar, don't listen to these guys making fun of your car, because I was driving a Pontiac, 1998 Pontiac Sunfire. He's like, make sure you invest, go buy a home, you know what I'm saying, in Alameda. And just, I'm like, man, I don't know a lot. I'm having locker room conversations because I don't know enough about it. But once I started to learn about investments, it then really started to make me think, where else do you learn about financial literacy? You don't learn about it in elementary. You don't learn about it in junior high school, or college. Nowhere else. It's not until you get into the real world where everybody goes, hey, you're supposed to be responsible with your money. Like, oh, hold on, but where did I ever learn about this? We never learned about this. So,
most important things that you did learn once you decided that this was something I need to get a grip on.
Well, I think for me it was that money grows. And it was kind of cool, in the age where everybody loves, video games. Of course, I grew up in the video game era. Madden was popular. But I still never forget investing in Janus funds and just seeing, $2,500 then turn into $2,800. And it just kept rolling. I'm just like, this is cool. I'm literally not doing anything. At one point, I remember always having to go check in and like, oh man, she's like, damn, I even doing it. Like, hold on, but why did it go up? And the game part of it kind of made it cool to see your money grow. You always hear, at least me growing up in South Central Los Angeles, you hear people say, oh yeah, those guys, they got a lot of money. They wake up and they make money. And I was like, this is happening. This is really happening. So it was cool. That was fun. Yeah.
An awakening as well when you left pro football and realized how much you had saved in your career and what your subsequent earning years were going to be, that you had to get more of a handle on how am I going to make a living for the rest of my life.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing. I had a dream of playing 10 years in the NFL. I didn't end up playing 10 years in the NFL. I ended up only having 4 years in the NFL. And, here I am at 27, 28 years old, just thinking, what am I going to do now with the rest of my life? I'm still in my 20s. I got a long way to go. But I've been very fortunate now to be able to host a show, American Ninja Warrior, and have a post-career that has really kind of helped me out financially. Now getting into writing a book, having my book, Everyone Can Be a Ninja, comes out a day after my 40th birthday. Nice. So I'm pretty cool. May 7th.
Awesome.
I'm pretty cool about. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So a couple things that you sort of live by. Fear is our greatest enemy, you say, and how self-doubt fueled the determination that you have.
Yeah, for me, I just think about the different points in my life where, I was overcome with fear. I think about the fear of growing up in South Central Los Angeles. Like, am I ever going to make it out? Am I going to make it to 18 years old? And I transferred that when I got, to college and trying to make it to the NFL. Am I good enough? I had a superstar brother who was killing it in the league while I was in college. And I thought, man, would I be able to make it? But I even take that into financials. Because financial, I think so many of us are afraid of investing because we don't what does that mean? And, what if it goes down? And if you're emotional about it, then it's very hard to really try to trust the investment process. But I always say on the other side of fear, and I talk about this in the book, on the other side of fear is something magical. And I think we see how volatile the market is, right? But when you're afraid because the stock market just went down, and then all of a sudden, if you look at it, over the history of it, you go, wow, like on the other side of this is great. I'm glad that I took the time to be patient and invest in this. And now, look, I'm reaping the benefits.
Have you had the opportunity to go and speak? Guy and I have done this once or twice, but to speak to some of the NFL teams, NBA teams, and some of these athletes so that they actually have some better literacy than they have presently right now?
Yeah, and we do. I mean, I think the NFL has done a better job as far as getting these players aware of it, realizing that there's a big gap because all of a sudden you're expecting these guys who are so young and coming into a lot of money and they're supposed to be genius. It's unfair. It really is unfair to the modern athlete to think that you throw millions of dollars at them and they're supposed to be like geniuses, and it doesn't work that way. So I think the most important thing is really surrounding yourself with people who are knowledgeable about this and who has your best interest. But you also have to understand your why. And I think that's what, when it comes down to investing, if you don't know why you're investing and what you want to invest in or what you want your future to be, your financial future, then it's very easy to live in the now and to buy this jewelry and to buy this car and to look cool for the gram, just in case you guys don't know what the gram is. Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram.
That's a cool way of saying Instagram.
You know what he's talking about. You know what he's talking about.
Oh, are you on the gram?
Oh, he's on the gram.
Quickly, Athletes for Education. It's kind of what Pete was asking about, sort of spreading the knowledge.
Yes. Athletes for Education was a nonprofit that I was involved in when I was in college, no longer around, but it was amazing. And I felt like it was a responsibility once I started to, once I went through the shock process of making money out of college. I was like, I got to make sure that other kids who are going to come in, whether it's in as a lawyer, a doctor, engineer, an athlete, I wanted to make sure that they knew coming into money, make sure you start learning and having the conversation about investment and how it works.